Are you ready to vote in the election of your lifetime? Because it is less than 2 weeks away, and some of you darlings asked in the comments if I could give you a class or tell you how to vote. It's super simple, it's really easy, and it's a very empowering, amazing thing to do. So here's how to vote. First, go to headcount.org to verify that you're registered to vote. If you're not registered to vote, use this as an opportunity to go ahead and register now for the next election. There at headcount.org, you can check out your registration, as I said. You can locate your polling place. You can look at what your ballot will look like ahead of time so you know exactly what's on there and you can be totally prepared and anxiety-free on election day, other than some other anxiety that might show up. And you can also find out your state's ID law. Each state has a different ID law, so it's super important to know what you need to have to show up on election day. At any point, if somebody turns you away and says you cannot vote for some reason, for any reason, you're going to request a provisional ballot as required by law. Next up, you're going to vote early, if possible. You're going to go to vote.org and see if your individual state allows early voting. I'm in Virginia and I don't get to vote early, so I'm going to go and be there at the polls on Tuesday, November 6th. But if you live in a state where you can vote early, like Texas or North Carolina, get out there and rock the vote, my friend. The benefits to voting early are you lessen the lines on voting day. You definitely make sure that your vote counts. If something pops up at the last minute on election day, no problem. You already have your vote in. And for the people that are going to be targeted and turned away due to voting ID issues and whatever else is going on out there, this just gives a little bit more time and space to solve those issues to make sure that every vote counts. Next up, you're going to look locally. Our local elections, our smallest elections, they seem like things we don't even think about, like a district attorney. I mean, that's important on Law and Order, but it's also really important here in our state because a district attorney makes a lot of choices about how our justice system works. So look at your most local elections, look into your candidates and see how they vote. If it's a new candidate, you'll find out their information on their website or on Facebook, of course. And if you want to know about your own rep and how they vote, you are going to go ahead and download the Countable app. Then you can track your rep, you find out your rep, you can look up by zip code, and you'll even get alerts of how your rep votes so that you know where they stand on key issues. So for me individually, I need to vote on issues that matter to me. So if you've known me for 5 minutes, you know that some issues that matter to me are the existential crisis that we have with the environment. Climate change is big and it's affecting our environment, so that's really, really big. Healthcare is so important. I am a woman with 2 chronic illnesses and I need to be able to get access to healthcare in order to live my life. One of the treatments for a disease that I have, endometriosis, is the birth control pill. So I need people in office who believe in science and are educated enough and can understand the complexities that go into women's health. Other issues that are super important are women's rights, gay rights, trans rights, the rights of human beings. So that's really important to me. We are going to transcend the divisiveness, as Beto O'Rourke just said, and we are going to put party aside and look at these issues and look and see who represents us and who doesn't. So you can make whatever decision that you want. Please make sure that you're informed, do what you got to do, vote for what matters to you. If you align with the issues that I just mentioned, here are some key races to keep your eye on. I have to write it down because there are a lot of names. The governor race, gubernatorial race in Florida, Andrew Gillum, really dig him. He's a great candidate, and there are a lot of racist attacks against him, and that's unacceptable. The Democrat Senator Bill Nelson versus the current Florida Governor Rick Scott. That's a really big race, and Rick Scott, I don't want to get started on that about the environment. Beto O'Rourke for Texas Senate. This is huge. This actually might be the election of a lifetime individually to watch. Texas is going to be very exciting. It's huge. I haven't seen excitement like this since Obama early days. So keep your eye on Texas. Claire McCaskill in Missouri. Abigail Spanberger in Virginia, 7th District. Stacey Abrams, gubernatorial race in Georgia. There's a lot of really racist gerrymandering and voter purging going on, so get the word out for Stacey Abrams. And Heidi Heitkamp, in North Dakota. Those are some really important key races, and obviously you need to vote for who you think is the right candidate. I am not telling people who to vote for, but people have asked me individually, what are some races to look at? Those are ones to look at. If you want to know how to do more, spread the word about voting. Just share it on Facebook, on Twitter, text your friends, call your friends, bring your friends to vote, and make sure that you just word of mouth, spread the word to everyone that you interact with. Just say, hey, are you voting in the election of a lifetime? I'll see you on November 6th, or vote early. Get out the word. This is really important. It's really going to determine the future of our country, whether we want to be a country based and coming from a place of fear or coming from a place of hope. So I really hope that you get out there and vote on November 6th or early. And if you're not registered, do not despair. There's still a lot you can do. You can still get the word out. You can still volunteer on November 6th to drive voters to the polls. You can go to rec centers or nursing homes, churches. There are a lot of organizations like your local Indivisible group where you can look into how you can volunteer and help people get to the polls. Driving people to the polls is great. So if for some reason you haven't registered, forgive yourself and just see how else you can help. I will see you guys on Election Day at the polls here in Virginia. Good luck to everybody who is early voting, and please fill up the comment section with your questions. We're keeping it very, very positive, and we are keeping it non-divisive, so I will watch them like a hawk. We're going to exchange some information, so if you guys have questions, please fill it up below. I will put in the description links to all the sites and apps that I just mentioned in this video. Thank you guys so much for being informed, for caring, and for knowing that, you know, yes, we DIY cool, cute things, but we also create our life. And one of the most empowering projects of my life is being able to have my voice heard and vote in elections, because people died for my right to do so. And I want to honor them and every single constituent, every single American, by having my voice heard, what I believe is best for our country. So all my love to all of you guys. Go out there, vote, do your best, be good people. Let's keep the divisiveness and the fear out of our world and come up from a place of hope and positivity and looking out for our fellow human. Have a great day and happy Election Day. Go midterms.